Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Shah. Shalom to the left. Let me go back to this real quick. I was just scrolling. Just got in this early. The market still. Just got in not too long ago. And I was just scrolling, looking at some news, looking to see what's going on around the world. And I happened to see this, which I ain't gonna read it verbatim because I know how Esau like to take stuff down. I just throwing, different little words. Now it says swearing in of Dr. Got the name right there. The U.S. I just say the USPHS. Basically, that's what it is, and you see what it says right there. Now it says when she was sworn in as an admiral to the USPHS, it says I'm honored to serve as the first female four-star officer to the USPHS Commission Corps at the first openly transforming. I ain't gonna say the actual word. Got to transforming the four-star officer to serve across any of the 8 uniformed services. And see, this is what Esau promote, man. That's why the Most High gonna exit some other stuff out. That's why the Most High gonna allow these other nations to shoot them arrows on this place, just because the nonsense that they promote around the earth, and each other country follow suit. You have some of them that actually be rebellious against it, and they really don't be trying to tolerate that. But majority of the world, they follow the suit and follow the same customs as Babylon, so to speak. Now I'm going to read this in the book of Revelation, chapter 18. And I started at verse 4. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Now, some people look at this like it's something literal. Well, we gotta move. We gotta go back to Africa. We gotta go to Turkey. Or we gotta go to South America. We gotta go whatever. Which is nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, though, if the Most High got it lined up for you to be got, it don't matter if you go way over to damn Australia. He's still gonna get you. You might get bit by a damn snake or crocodile, eat your ass. That's just what it is. But what it's talking about is basically detaching from these ways. Don't be too caught up in the nonsense and the folly, because there's a whole bunch of folly to get caught up in. All the distractions, all the other stuff. Now, of course, we live our lives and go to work, take care of responsibilities and all that. But the main thing that should be on the front of your mind, really, is knowing this is coming already soon, not no 10 years down the line type shit either. In verse 5 it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities, reward her as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. So just think about all the stuff these so-called generals or these different politicians or admirals or whatever, these different people, slave masters, the so-called upper echelon or the upper class actually dictate and control stuff in society. Think about all the stuff that they did throughout the earth, different nations, over in this nation. The Most High said they're going to get double back what they did. And that's in the book. That's going to happen. People always talk about karma and you reap what you sow. Well, this is it right here. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. And I heard it's talking about Babylon as a whole, because this place is under a real heavy feminine vibration. And if you be masculine, you either get frowned upon, or majority of women, they really like that because they're getting tired of that weak beta male shit. But overall, this place really got a heavy feminine vibration. That's why when you hear the her of the great whore, it's talking about Babylon, aka America. Now in verse 7 it says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she hath said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Because that's how this place conduct itself. They go in every country, send military everywhere. Nobody invaded this place yet. This place hasn't been invaded by no foreign military, none of that. No other country never came and did such and such on this soil. And when they say stuff happen, it'll be inside jobs. It don't be nothing like catastrophic like the Hiroshima and Nagasaki type situations, or what's some other scenarios, different stuff like Desert Storm situations, stuff with that go on over in Syria. The scenarios like that, there don't be no other countries coming over here doing what we done to them. But that's not going to always remain the same. Verse 8 it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. Strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her, and this place is due for judgment. So let me see. What else I want to go into? I'm going to let this other video play, then I'll go into this. Go to it. Now, the reason why I'm showing this clip is this is just a precursor to what Revelation chapter 18 is talking about. Now, let me see. In verse 9, it says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and live deliciously with her shall be well. And a lot of these places, mainly China predominantly, made most of their money off of Babylon. Live deliciously, eating good. Moab owning all type of businesses, casinos, luxurious cars, big bank accounts, parts of the stock market. And that's just one section of people. There's other nations that live deliciously too. I just want to use them for a prime example because they're going to be one of the main ones that partake in this third woe. It says, and live deliciously with her, shall bewail her, and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Only one thing on this earth that's going to bring judgment in 1 hour. This is the precursor right here. They showing it. They getting it ready. Holding the drills. And see, the arrows, they're going to come from all types of stuff. They're going to come from out of silos. They're going to come from these carriers. They're going to come from the planes. Man, the Most High got a serious judgment lined up for this place. And it seems so far-fetched, but that's to the ones that's not really vigilant and alert and paying attention to what's really going on. Because you can see it clear as day. That's another video I'm going to go to. Give me a minute. Now it says, in verse 11, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth merchandise anymore. Because this place, that's how you know exactly what place it's talking about. There's only one place on the earth that all the merchandise go to, that's imported to. Whether it be cars, you got foreign cars, German cars, European cars, Italian cars, Chinese cars, Korean cars, Japanese cars, the clothing, Italian, European, Egyptian fabrics, the different stones and the ointments and the oils. And that's why I mentioned that in the scripture. It says, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and the pearls, fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and fine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and brass and iron and marble, cinnamon, odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour, wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. All that stuff been brought over here. It says, in the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all the things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee. Thou shalt find them no more at all. That's how bad this place don't get hit. There ain't gonna be no more of that shit over here. They say the merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, should stand afar off for the fear of the torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, alas, alas, that great city, that which was clothed with fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold, precious stones, and pearls, from 1 hour So great riches come to naught once again. So the one thing that's gonna make that come to naught. And they're not even regarding none of these treaties or these deals either. The Most High really putting that spirit on them to do that. Like the scripture say in the book of Proverbs, the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, and he turns to whatsoever he would. So, and he want them to go do drills, they're gonna wake up and do drills. He want them to go get on TV and hold a press conference, they're gonna hold a press conference. That's just what go out. Nah, we're doing some more serious. And every shipmaster and all this company of ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of the costliness for 1 hour she is made desolate. And then we've been paying attention in previous videos I uploaded of some of the stuff in the news. Some of them ships, they ain't even hitting the ports. They just got goods on them, and now they're trying to scramble around and actually let them come in. So whatever goods that might have been food or whatever, they actually spoiled. So Esau is so damn dirty, they're gonna send out spoiled goods and shit. That's how you know, man. This place through. Gas high as hell. That shit gonna keep going up. By the end of the year, that shit fuck around be $4 a gallon in certain places. But see, knowing all this coming though, it's the vibe you're supposed to be in, it's the spirit you're supposed to be in. And in verse 20 it says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh have avenged you on her. You see, this ain't about no, oh, go put a militia together and go get a black party group and try to go take down the elites. Which, that sound all fun and all and like a good idea. But the Most High just be patient, just wait. He gonna turn these devils against each other and let them wipe each other out. That's better than going to go actually go get them. You just sit back, you know, maneuver through society in a spiritual manner, the best way possible, and let him take them out, and let them use their own devices to take each other out, so to speak. You know, let me see. What else I want to read on that? Now, verse 21 it says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And that's gonna be, man. Me personally, I know I'm gonna be laughing. I already laugh at a lot of shit anyway that be going on. I'm definitely gonna be laughing at that and shedding some tears about it. Through the spirit. Now, let me go to this other video right here. Before I go into that, though, backing up with them joint drills. That's also a sign of this coming to fruition too. In the book of Ezekiel.
You're looking for insurance for your business? Go spend 10 minutes.
In 1 minute. Alright, that's in the book of Ezekiel. So we ought to go ahead and start at. I'll just read on down from verse 1. It says, and the word of the Lord Yahweh came to me, saying, son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. Which is basically talking about who really in control. They're going to actually control them to do what they're going to do. It says, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them, and with swords, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. And if you've been paying attention to the news, Russia actually been selling nukes to these different areas. Mainly, primarily, Persia, which is known as Iran or Tehran, which I'm going to play this video in a minute. I said Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, which they just did a deal over there with Sudan and Libya not too long ago. It was in the news, but they tried to overshadow it with a whole bunch of other nonsense, but it was in there. Now it says in Libya with them, all of them, with shield and helmet, Gomer and his bands, the house of Tukomar, the North Quarters and all his bands, and many people with it. And what you see in this previous video, many people with it. And they ain't letting no Transformers in their military. That's Esau out here with his bullshit. They coming in a whole different spirit. They got a whole different agenda that's been orchestrated from on high. Let me read on some more. Verse 7 says, Be thou prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou guard unto them. You see, Russia might have, I won't say Russia, Slovakia. China has the numbers, whether it comes down to foot soldiers or whatever, medics. But Russia got the technology. So they're going to be a guard to all these different nations. Ethiopia, Libya, whatever other nation want to link up. Now it says, after many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations. And they should dwell safely, all of them. That's how you know this hasn't happened yet, because our people still not dwelling safely yet. Our people getting grabbed up, kidnapped, raped, robbed, killed, or murdered, I should say, because there's a difference between killing and murdering, so to speak. You got people getting murdered. You got people catching the plagues that's hitting this place. All type of stuff going on, so they're not dwelling safely. But it's going to be a time when our people should actually be able to dwell safely. It says, Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Let's see. It says in verse 10, it says, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, shall also come to pass, and at the same time shall plans come into thy mind, thou shalt make an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil, to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. It says, Sheba, Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish, and all the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, Art thou come to take a spoil, as thou gather thy companies to take a prey, to carry away silver or gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil. And see, these other nations, they don't want no gold, they don't want no spoil or none of that. They want this place out the way, basically. They want Esau out the way. And to get Esau out the way, they gotta do what they're gonna do. Let me see. What else I'm gonna read out of this? I don't want to go through the whole chapter, but this chapter got a lot of meat in it, so to speak. I'm gonna go back to this video, but this video put this the spirit that the Persians coming in because they got that technology from that guard that they have.
For the first time in history, warnings are being given saying the United States should prepare for nuclear alarm. We will tell you.
Why is they talking about this? Ain't no peace talks, ain't none of that going on. Let's run this back one more time. I have my volume down a little bit.